Mid-length duck dive. When we were in Oaxaca, we had this super clear swimming pool to practice duck diving in. And Emery got out my GoPro and we took some clips so that everybody can learn to master this skill. If you missed the first one, don't worry. There's 7 minutes of duck diving. Okay, so I'm gonna just go through roughly right here the beginning principles. First of all, I want you to check the paddling. Look how deep my arm goes. That little swivel, that just happens because of the water. That is unintentional. Legs are over the tail of the board. Fins are engaged in the water. Gonna do a sit turn here. All I was doing was trying to get enough room in the pool so I could build up for my duck dive. It can be done static, but just like everything else in surfing, little speed goes a long way. Legs over the tail. Check the paddles. Deep strokes. Check where my hands go. On the deck, see that fulcrum between my thumb and my index finger? You want to keep those on the deck with the other fingers wrapped around the rail. The key here, though, is the lower body. So I'm going to talk a lot more about the lower body. Crawling like a baby on the tail of your surfboard when you're wading out the back for waves. This is, like all surfing, this is a lower body move. The upper body just guides. You do need the hands, or else it's not possible, but you're not pressing with the hands. So you stabilize your whole body over the board, but specifically the lower body. So look at this pose. You want to practice this pose out the back. Both my knees down. A tail pad helps, but it's not necessary. This board is 7'6". And I push down and through with my feet. Notice how my legs are going to land over the tail to help guide the tail back up. So a lot of people, when they're doing this for the first time, your lower body comes off the board. You always want your lower body to stay over the surfboard. Again, this is a big surfboard. I'm 140 pounds riding a 7'6" surfboard. So if you're anywhere in that ballpark, you too can duck dive a 7'6". Here I'm getting the buildup, and I want you to pay attention to the lower body. Even to the paddling form, the knees are connected. Hands go back just like when you're popping up to surf, to stand. Push up with the legs are pushing up, helping me get that leverage. So I'm completely connected with my feet over the tail of the board. I'm going to press down with my left foot. I'm left-footed. See how even all my weight goes back before the foot presses down? Roughly leaves the tail and then comes back over. There's more. Legs stay over the tail. Always want to keep those knees connected to the board, except for that one moment when you're basically in mid-flight. So here I am on a 6'6", and you'll notice I'm able to go a lot deeper, but the form is the same. Notice the hands. Notice the fulcrum. Notice the wrap around the rail. Now my right foot presses down, and then I switch to my left foot. So just like everything else I show you in surfing, there are variations. It's a dive because my legs are allowing me to get the board under in such a way that I can press down and through. Look at the legs stay over the tail as I come up out of the water. 6'6", Katie's 6'6" Barahona here. Here's a little knee one. So you can practice this one too. Hands are in the same place, knees are over the tail. This is a shallower duck dive for a smaller wave. Sinking the whole board. Notice lower body making the nose point down. You can't do that with your upper body. It's not strong enough. Then I kind of use my knees to push it down and do a shallow little duck dive. Just clear my butt under the water, only just. Legs stay over the tail as I exit the water. All right, here's another version where I'm just dancing around, crawling like a baby. This is what you want to practice when you're waiting for waves. If you do not know how to duck dive and you're able to ride basically 7'6" and under, you want to practice controlling the board under the water while you're waiting for waves with your lower body. Use your knee, switch to your feet. You want to see if you can keep that tail underwater with your lower body. If you don't have lower body control of the surfboard, you cannot duck dive. It is a completely lower body maneuver. Here it is, my legs, my thighs, my butt, my toes that are keeping this board stable and steady underwater. The hands are working, but they're not working as hard. It's the lower body that's keeping that tail under, and the hands, again, are used for guidance. The initiation of this entire maneuver is with the lower body. Now, after all of that, I'm going to move into a duck dive. Notice how long I've been able to keep the board underwater. Time yourself. Build up. Maybe you can do it for 10 seconds, then 20, then 30. Sometimes it takes a long time for a set to come through. I move to my foot, push the board down, and project it forward. Legs landing over the tail. Okay, this is the last one. Super deep, regular duck dive here. Watch again, there's 2 slow-mos. Initiate with the lower body. Push the body up, push the board under. Foot hits the tail, presses down and through the surfboard. You disconnect for a moment before the legs land back over the tail. Here it is again. 1, 2, 3. Lower body gonna press into the tail, getting the butt up. Foot goes over the tail, presses down, and voila. Get out there, get duck diving.